Well, collectors, here we are again. This is our big 50th unboxing. It's hard to imagine that we've done that many so far. The weeks really fly by, but it's been a lot of fun, and I think we've seen a lot of neat items, some not so neat items, and some bad items too, but at least it's a good opportunity for everybody to see what comes in here and kind of get some notion of what this crazy hobby business is all about. I know it has some times that are not so much fun, but I gotta say, for the most part, I just love it, and we're going to keep on going as long as I can, and as long as you guys still watch these videos. So that being said, we'll start our 50th unboxing. And what I wanted to do, a lot of collectors have said you mentioned trademarks on hunting and forestry cutlasses once in a while as what to look out for. And I did get a bad cutlass earlier this week, and I thought I would share that with you so that you can get a look at it. This example, when you first look at it, you say, "Oh, that doesn't look too bad at all." It's got nice brass fittings, shows a little use to the scabbards, got nice acorn nuts in it and all. But what you have to look at, and I've told you this before in the past with stag grips, we like to see very little trim where the pommel goes onto the stag and where the stag goes into the ferrule. And if you look at this piece, it's not a lot of trim here, but it's a little bit more than what you normally see, because most of the times on the period pieces, the manufacturer picked out a piece of stag that was almost the same size as the fittings, or they made the fittings the same size as the stag. So that's maybe one thing to kind of think, well, gee, is there something wrong here? And then when you take it out, it's got a very fine blade with hunting etches, and everything really looks good. You know, the typical scene of the hunter running after his dogs who were trying to tackle this wild boar. I've seen this scene 1,000 times. I'd like to see the scene of how the boar made out or the dogs made out, because it always looks like the dogs are doing pretty good, but I'm not sure with how fierce those boars were. But anyhow, that's beside the point. And then we look on the back of the blade here, and you'll see, this was made by E&F Horster. Okay, that's true, but the catch is, when did they make it? This particular insignia, just the way you see this, was used in the early 30s, only when it was used, it was always stamped. When you see the figure like this, which is acid etched, that is a post-war piece. So when you look at that, compiled with a little bit of the trim on the grip, this is a post-war copy of a nice hunting cutlass. So I just thought I would tell you about that. Now we'll go on and start the unboxing. Let's see what we got here. This looks like a good candidate to start us out here. We'll see what it looks like. I got my Bob Burns trusty cutter. I got my cigar, which I have to light. Yep. And of course, here's the 50 unboxings. Prost. Ooh. Whoa. A little too strong. Well, that may that may get me through the video here. We'll see. It's a little too strong, but it's a good start. We got to get going here. So let's see what we got in this box. Got a brand new Bob Burns cutter. Bob wrote me too. He says you keep using a brand new cutter. He says, you know, you can clip the ends off of these and it's sharp underneath. And I do know that, Bob, but I like to start out fresh with these videos. All right, so let's see what we got here. Looks like a pretty good wrapping job. Yeah, great. No popcorn. That's good. Somebody wrote me too saying that I shouldn't criticize people for using popcorn because they're just doing the best they can to make sure that their item gets there safely. And I do know that. And you guys, if you seriously think that I'm mad at somebody because of the way they packed it, I'm not. I'm just trying to have fun, and I think you all understand that. But some guys don't. They actually do. What are you criticizing the sender for trying to do a good job packing? Well, yeah, I'm not really. Some people just take things just too seriously all the time. But what do we got here? Uh-oh. This looks like something, a little addition here. Boy, my guys are always thinking of me here. Isn't that nice? A couple of Fuentes, my favorite brand. You like Fuentes too, Bob, don't you? Oh, yeah. I might let you smoke one of these.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. All right, that's good. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. It's very thoughtful of you. And let's see what else is in here. I can find my cutter. See if there's something that we'll like to see. I hope it will be. Yeah, we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Here we go. Whoa, look at here, customers, collectors. Wow. Look at this. Wow, what a beauty. Oh my. Well, you guys, I'm sure you know this is a Tino officer, and it looks like a really fantastic piece here. See, what was done with Tino officers, the sword, the scabbard was factory blackened except for the mounts to contrast, and then blackening was also put behind the eagle. See where that blackening is behind the eagle and behind the swaz? That makes it jump out to the eye, and the same is true of the pommel. See how it has blackening in the backgrounds? The blackening was also in the lower mount, and that's very important because the blackening has a lot to do with the rating of the dagger's condition. So veterans many times thought this was patina and cleaned it all out, and it's just not a nice piece without it. It's still original, of course, but the darkening certainly gives it some real jump. Let me show you. Hold the camera a minute, Ob. I just want to show you one that doesn't have the blackening in so you can see what the difference is. Just a second. Yeah, here's a Tino I acquired about a week ago. And when we put the two daggers next to each other, you can really see the difference in what the darkening does for the looks of the piece. Do you see that? So what's happened here, the veteran or the last collector cleaned the darkening out of the pommel and out of the back of the crossguard and off of the scabbard. So it just takes some of the oomph out of it. But we see this a lot too. I mean, it's still a real dagger, but as far as rating goes, it makes a big difference. So I thought you'd like to see that. You know what I'm talking about then. And let's see what the blade looks like on this beauty. Oh, well, they don't get any better. That is really, really stone mint. That drink is stone mint too. And then on the reverse, what do we have here? We have the trademark and the Chino Eagle. And then under the crossguard, we'd like to see, yeah, there's numbers there. Looks like 8135. And then we want to see the same numbers, yep, on the throat of the scabbard. I think it's 8135. So what you have here, collectors, if you're thinking of buying a Tino officer, you want to get something with this kind of quality if your pocketbook can afford it. Well, you know, if it can't, then maybe get one with some of the blackening taken off, and then you can always upgrade later in life when hopefully you have more money. But as far as Tino's goes, that is really just about a full mint piece. And I'm very glad to have it. You like that piece, Ob?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, that's a killer, isn't it? I think that's a real goodie. I'm glad to have that, and I'm sure somebody else will too that's looking for a great one.
What, no hangers?
No hangers with it. Oh well, what are you going to do? And I'll put my cigars there, and let's see what else we got here. This is a small box. Nice wrapping job somebody did here. See what this is. A nice wrapping job, covered up the post office box. So that's all right. Reusing the materials, why not? For all you green guys, that's what we have to do today. Let's see what we got here. Get this out of the way. Get one of these out of the way. Man, that baby's a little strong. All right, we're set to go. Whitman fulfilling all his habits here. It's my 3 habits: drinking, smoking, and militaria. So when you put them all together, it's always a good day. At least it is for me. I understand a lot of you guys don't smoke, and it's not right to smoke. It gives you all these horrible diseases, I know. Drinking, I guess the same thing, so I'm not much of a role model here, so I'm sorry about that. But you know, you gotta live your life the way you like to live your life, and there's not a lot of pleasures, but those that you can sneak in, or well, I got a great big trash bag here or something. What could this possibly be? Wow, that was a lot of work for a K98 bayonet here. Let's see.
I think the trash bag's pretty appropriate, sorry.
Yeah, that's oh boy, what do we got? It's just a little note here. It says, I don't know, something about who said he got it in West Africa. For what it is it worth? I hope you like it. All right, well, let's see where it is. Oh, what? I guess the
scabbard.
Africa is coming in from the scabbard here. Huh, I've never seen that before. The scabbard is actually lined
Yeah, isn't it?
by machine.
Yeah, look at that.
And look at that, it's lined all the way up to where the frog would go. You know, that's really something, and it doesn't look like it was done post-war. There's a little ding here and so forth where there's no disruption of the lines, so the dings seem to have happened after the lines were put in there. Boy, that's an amazing thing. Let's see, it's got a number here. Let's see if it looks like 9187. Wow, no, it doesn't match. That's a shame. That's a shame. But what do you think of that, Ob? It's got some possibilities, doesn't it?
Sure.
It's so outrageous that I don't know. I kind of like it. Well, we'll see what the guys think. I'm sure I'll get some comments about that. Oh, somebody did that.
Throw it back in the trash bag.
That's nothing. But you know, a lot of things that you see, that you go right away, oh, that can't be real. A lot of times they are. Now the age goes from the see how the age runs from the chape button right up into that grooving. I mean, this is not something that was done after the fact.
You see if there's a stamp on the ball?
Oh, on the ball, yeah. The
opposite
yeah,
side.
they usually have a there's a
Yeah.
Waffen amp on the other side there. So I don't know. That's rather a curious thing. I mean, it's not something that's worth a fortune or anything, but you know, it's always fun to see stuff you've never seen before. I like that anyhow.
No, that's cool.
It's gives you something to think about a little bit.
Anything to help out a mismatched numbered K98, you know.
All right, collectors. What, did you light up a cigarette, Ob?
No, not me.
No, not you. And I'm going to get complaints too. Guys complain that Robbie's smoke comes over the video, so I don't know.
Special effect.
Special effects, yeah. Let's see what we got here. I shouldn't keep this showing. I didn't know, so here we go, some more cigars. And boy, these guys are fantastic. Thanks for the videos and your pleasant conversations. Enjoy. Isn't that nice? Well, I'll tell you, it's so collectors, if you want to get a lot of free cigars, all you have to do is go into the unboxing business. Thank you, sir. That's very nice of you. Boy, I'm set here. My cigar bill is going down by the second. Let's see what we got next here. Now this is kind of heavy. Let's see what's in here. Cutter's doing a job. There. Need this to do the job. Ooh, yeah. Man. Very strong. Well, this looks like a box that's been used a few times, but that's all right. See if we can get this baby open here without too much trouble.
It looks like it's been used about 12 times.
Yeah. but well, I can assure them that this time it'll go into the recycle bin. Oh, get rid of that. Well, let's see what's all in here. Supermarket bag here, and oh, all right, a helmet. You guys like helmets? I used to not care much about them, but it's amazing when you start messing with them that they really kind of become addictive, because there's so many different factors involved. They're every bit as complicated as daggers. And there's a lot of trouble with them too, so you gotta know what you're doing with them too. But let's see what we got here. Oh wow! These things come from a veteran source, so I know the original. Yeah. That's got a camo on it. There's a little sign of the decal there. It's an M40, I guess. Yeah, this is probably a very good helmet. Not a lot of the camos left. It's well worn, well used. Looks like a pretty good size too, doesn't it, Ob?
Sure.
Yeah. And then the inside, we still got the strap is still intact. The liner is still intact with the drawstring, and we also have the original owner's name painted in there. So this helmet, I wonder what size it is, whether I can see the
64?
64. You're right. Yeah, it's not. That's pretty cool. I like that helmet.
That's a nice original piece there.
Yeah, it's I know it's original. I mean, it's not mint or anything, but
those camos are always scary, but that one.
Well, these things come from this man's father, so I'm quite sure they all are what they are. Here's some kind of a bayonet. I'm not sure what this is even.
That's let me see it.
That's US.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long one. I guess maybe this was his bayonet. It's got the covering on it and so forth. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what else is in here. A supermarket bag, a couple of rubber bands. I like this. He uses the rubber bands to tape the bubble wrap, which makes it a little bit easier on poor old Whitman here. Wow. Yeah, this is quite nice, guys. A nice HJ knife. The plating is really, really good on it. The insignia is good, and the grip plates. The scabbard paint. Look at the back of the scabbard. It's almost mint. The leather's good. Wow. Let's see if the blade is nice too. Usually you don't get everything with these, but let's see. Oh, that's good one too. It's not mint, but it's really very, very nice. See that motto, guys? Yeah, that's a nice bayonet. It has a ricasso, so we know that this was made around the 37 or 38 while they were still putting the mottos on the blade. And let's see, yeah, I was right. It's was made in 38. It's RZM M745, And oh, it's Carl Boker with the ostrich. I love that trademark with that crazy looking bird there on it. Isn't that neat? So so this is a very nice Hitler Youth knife with the motto. I like that a lot. You like that piece, Ob?
Yeah, rare maker.
Yeah, rare maker, and the blade is not too bad. The motto is still jumping. So wow, I'm glad to have that. Boy, this is a nice nice box. Anything else cool in here? Nope, that's it. But hey, that was not a bad. Especially that helmet. That helmet is.
Put it back in the bag.
Is what?
Put it back in the bag.
What bag? Oh, this Acme bag?
Yeah.
Good idea, yeah. We don't want it to get any more beat up. Good idea, Aubrey. Okay. And we'll get rid of this box. Yeah, that's your last trip there, box, but it was a good one. All right. Okay, let's see what we got next. We don't have a lot here, but I'm gonna, don't worry, we'll fill in the time. This is our last box. Let's see what this is. This is coming from around the other side of the world, in I think New Zealand. Looks like it made the trip fairly good. What am I doing here? Let's see if I can do this from the top. Yeah, that's better. Well, that's what the problem. I needed a drink. Yeah, good one too. Let's see if that did it. Yeah, I think that did it here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is all nicely packed. Good bubble wrap here. Let's see, we got things here. Well, I'm getting curious. You guys curious? Looks like something good, doesn't it? I think it is. Let's first see what we got here. Wow. Well, here's an award to Sess Inquart, Obergruppenführer Sess Inquart. I'm sure most of you know that Sessinquirt was in charge of Austria and was basically responsible for handing Austria over to Germany in the Anschluss in 1938. So he was a very, very important man, very important SS officer. He also was put in charge of occupied Holland, and the Dutch are very, very tough people, and Sessinquirt was never able to do very much with the Dutch when he was the boss there, and in fact they with his name Inquart, the Dutch called him a court low. That was their expression for him. But nonetheless, he was a very important SS officer. And then we have a picture of Sessinquirt here. He's wearing his minister uniform there, not his SS uniform. And here's something else of Sessinquirt's. And then what we have here we shall see. There's a rubber band man here. Good guy. Looks like we got an SS dagger here, guys. I can smell them from a mile away. Yeah. Okay. There you go, guys. There's an early 1936 model SS dagger with the Type 1 chain. And this dagger, my friends, was owned by Sessinquirt. This was his personal SS dagger. It's got the original knot on it. You can see he wore it quite a bit. See how that's absolutely the original knot. It's got the Type 1 chain with the big skulls and the open clover leaf where you can see the DRGM in there, and then on the reverse it has a good culturization stamping. And then let's see how the blade is. The blade's pretty good, yeah, with the motto and so forth. And it's unmarked, as we like to see them. So just think of it, guys. This is a very, very important SS dagger coming from Sessinquirt, coming from his estate. It's quite a thing. I think that for those of you that like historical pieces, this is quite something. It's quite a thrill to have it come in here to old Whitman's. So there you go. And like I say, we haven't seen everything yet, but sooner or later, most everything comes through this cellar. And here's to that. I'm very thankful for that. Okay, so now with that, I think I got everything out of here. All right, with that, I'm going to, since it's our 50th unboxing, and I don't have a lot of things here like I usually do. It was a little slow this week, although that synchro dagger ain't bad. But I'm going to show you a couple of things from my personal collection. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few things from my personal collection. These are not going to be things that break the bank, but are just things that that I like very much. And as I tell people, if you like it and you can afford it and it's in good condition, buy it. That's the guidelines I've always used with my life, and little by little, year by year, it's amazing how many nice things you can accumulate in your collection, and then if you display it like I do, it really makes it enjoyable. So I'll just show you just a couple of things here that I think you'll enjoy. This piece is something I kind of like a lot. I bought this many years ago at a show in Kansas City, and you'll say, "Oh yeah, well it's the official government photograph of Hitler." This is the photograph that Hitler used in the silver presentation albums that have the eagle and his initials on them. You know what they are. When I bought it, there was no silver frame or anything, but what I really liked, it had on the bottom of it Kapitan Leutnant Eichler, and signed by Hitler, and it's dated 12 July 1936. And when I got home, I thought, well, you know, what the heck is Hitler giving an autographed official photograph to a Kapitan Leutnant in the Navy? And so I started looking into my records, and what I found out was that Eichler was the engineer on the Avisa Grilla, and the Avisa Grilla was the yacht that Germany built for Hitler. He didn't use it much. He was only on it 4 or 5 times. I guess he probably got seasick, I don't know, but I can just see that he went on probably the christening of the ship, and the officers were with him. Probably they had dinner with him, and Hitler probably gave each of the officers one of these signed photographs. So I can show you Kapitan Leutnant Eichler is right here in the rank list, and you will see that he is listed as an officer on the Avisa Grilla. So that makes this photograph, I think, very interesting to me. It's something really cool. I mean, a guy like that wouldn't have got the silver frame with it, but just think how important this autograph photograph must have been to him during the time. So I like it a lot. I think it's a great thing. Alright, that's one thing. And I'll show you a few daggers that come from my personal collection that I think are interesting. Again, you can't retire on these, but they're very, very nice pieces that are difficult to find. Now this is a naval dagger, and you say, oh yeah, so what, it's just a naval dagger. Well, if you look at it, you'll see that the obverse of the blade is slightly different from what you normally see them, because I believe it has a yeah, it's got a destroyer or something here, and then on the other side, though, is where it's really at. It's produced by Robert Kloss, and this is a U9 commemorative dagger. where it shows U9 at the sea with not eagles, seagulls around it and so forth, with a nice frosted background. And this was an etch that was available to commemorate the feats of U9 during World War I. And it wasn't ordered much, so it's become a rather rare dagger. And an original one is difficult to find. This is absolutely an original. It's a very cherished dagger to me because I like naval daggers, and it's never been cleaned. And it's kind of interesting, the scabbard on my example has metal runners in it, which is quite unusual for naval daggers. But I've found many of the Robert class examples do have those metal runners, the originals. So that's something that's kind of cool. And I'll show you a naval dagger that I like very much, and I've probably showed you this one before. But I just love to look at it every morning when I get up and walk through my collecting room. It has a fantastic ivory grip that is really toned beautifully, and it's got this special hand-done style scabbard. It has a sea creature on one side of it and the anchor on the other side, and then there's a like a battleship or whatever on the other side with another anchor. And these scabbards were produced by Holler originally, and they were reproduced after the war, so you have to be careful to make sure you have an original piece, which this one is. And then the best part about it is the wonderful, wonderful blade. It has one of the best damask blades that I've ever seen. Look how the pattern just jumps to the eye. It's just absolutely incredible. And then on the reverse, it has the marking of Tiger. And the Tiger firm apparently got the order for this dagger and had it produced with their name on it for the purchaser. But again, just look at that Damascus. It just is incredible. Isn't that a beautiful dagger, collectors? I think it is. I really love it, and that grip. Look at that dark grip and all. It just is. When I had this ivory certified as old, the inspector couldn't get over the color of it, but he said it is African elephant ivory. So that I think is a nice piece. Let's see what I got next here. That if you collect SAs, which I think everybody wants to have an SA, for just a basic SA dagger, I think this is the best one that you'll ever see. The scabbard has 100% of all the anodizing, but just look at that grip. That is the most sensational grip that I've seen. Absolutely beautiful tiger wood look, coupled with the anodized scabbard and early hanger. It just is really beautiful. And on the other side, it's just as nice with the same great anodizing. And this dagger was produced by a quality maker. The blade is stone mint, really beautiful, just as nice as they come. And then on the reverse is the Bickle company, and they really made a quality product. Just look at that, how beautiful that blade is, coupled with the fine cross guards and grip. And I guess I could say it took me all my life to find an SA this nice, but just as a plain SA dagger with no other features, I think that's about the best you'll ever find. I just love it, and I hope you guys like it too. It's fun to show it off. This next piece I like a lot too. You're going to say, ah, it's an RAD hewer. Well, it is, but it's one of the early silvered ones, and it's got the anodized scabbard, and the anodizing is 100% on it. And look how the silver has all toned on the piece, and the beautiful grip. I just love it when they get dark like that and tone evenly like that. See how beautiful that is with that anodized scabbard, and look how deep the silver finish has gotten on the hilt. And then of course it has a nice blade with the deep motto and black backgrounds, and it's got a little oil on the blade. But and this piece was made by Ed Wusthoff. It's really beautiful, in mint condition. It's got oil on the blades. I should wipe that off. I don't even know why that's on there, but I think it's a beautiful piece. Even things like where the grip was trimmed. See where it was trimmed there, and see how where they trimmed it has toned to a golden color from age. I just love that kind of stuff. And this is probably about the third or fourth RAD that I've upgraded to put into my personal collection, and so far this is the best one that for my taste that I've been able to find. So I like that. And then I added the two hangers. This piece would have been worn with the early type hanger, like this is the brown leather, and it's hardly worn at all. So that was a nice piece. And then this was the later bullet style with the belt loop and so forth, and it's well marked on the reverse. When you look at all this stuff, I love it with that cogwheel type swaz, and so I think that's a great hanger. A hanger like that would cost you a lot of money, but once you spend it, you forget what you spent, and then you can enjoy that piece the rest of your life. Okay, collectors, had to get another drink, you know. Somehow they evaporate. I don't know how it happens. Now the next piece I'll show you, this is a Hitler Youth Leader, and this is the third or fourth one that I bless you, Bob. Gesundheit.
It must be dusty.
Yeah, it's a cigar smoke. But Hitler Youth Leaders in really good condition are very difficult to find, and they're frankly very beautiful daggers in their simplicity.
You can't find them at all, really.
No. And most pieces you'll find, the silvering on the crossguard is going to be worn off because the crossguard was aluminum. On this example, if you look, it has 100% of the silvering on both sides. 100% of it. 100% of the silvering on the ferrule, and the same is true on the upper fitting. What the dark places you're seeing on that is the original lacquer. And many times with Youth Leader daggers, the grip, which was a wood base wound with silver wire, the grip shrinks so the wire becomes very loose like a slinky. So this one, the grip is not shrunk, the wire is still tight, and it has a beautiful cap on it also, which still has the silvering. See the cap with the Hitler Youth insignia there? And the leather is completely original and in immaculate condition. Hey, look at the back of that cross guard with that frosting. And then the blade, it just is magnifique, absolutely mint, with the bullet on era, with the exclamation point. And then on the reverse, you see the RZM M736, which was E&F Horster. Eichhorn also made these pieces, but Horster seemed to make the lion's share of them. And then along with it, something even harder to find than the leader dagger is the hangers that go with it. These hangers are just about in mint condition. They're quite beautiful with their plain silvered fittings. They have the deluxe style push-up snaps, but you notice they don't have the leaves on them here like the snaps do that we see with army daggers and so forth. On the back, they're just as nice. The hangers that were made for Horster normally are not marked on the back. The ones that were made for Eichhorn daggers, we usually see an RZM with that cogwheel swaz on it. So these are the proper hangers for the Horster Hitler Youth Leader dagger, and I think that's, I mean, nobody ever has the best dagger in the world. There's always going to be another one better, but I just think that's a great example, and I'm not going to look any further. I think I've upgraded as far as I can get with that. And lastly, I'll show you my RAD Hewer officer. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful dagger. The silvering is perfect on it. The patina is outstanding. The hilt, all the silvering's there. There's no wear to it. But what really catches your eye is the original ivory grip plates. It's very, very rare to see RAD officers with original ivory grip plates. We see remakes, but these are original. There's the reverse, just as nice. And then what I like about this too, the crossguard concealed the silvering on the scabbard so it didn't tone. And look at that, isn't that cool? The way that's preserved like that. I love stuff like that. The same thing on the reverse. And then of course it has a full mint blade. That's just oil you see on there. Arbitedelt. And this piece was made by the Carl Eichhorn firm. So I think it's a very, very fine example. And then to go with it, these hangers came with the dagger, and I believe they're original to the piece. They're in very nice condition. The leather is still perfect with good mounts. And then on the reverse, they're also they're dated 1938 from a company in Mainz that made them. And then what else is interesting is the name of the original owner, Wagner, is stamped in there also. So whoever Herr Wagner was, he was an RAD officer. I've never had the opportunity to try to research him, but there it is. And then just to make it nice, I love this miniature. This is the Alcozo RAD officer type. But somebody spent a lot of money on this miniature. Look at the silvering. It is just perfect with the darkening and patina. But it also has ivory grip plates. And along with it, it has glass eyes in the eagle head. I mean, it just really is, I think, is fantastic. And then it has the Arbitedelt on the blade, very beautiful. And instead of Alcozo, it has Pausbach on the reverse. Pausbach was a big distributor of Alcozo, so this person bought the Alcozo miniature from Pausbach, who had their name put onto the blade by Alcozo. So that makes it a little bit interesting also. Those are just a couple of pieces from my collection. Again, there's nothing here you can retire on, but the reason I'm showing them to you is that I want to stress again the quality feature. There's millions almost of RADs, but it's really hard to find one that's in great condition. SAs, how many look like that? A U9 Naval, very difficult to find. A Naval with a custom scabbard and a fantastic damask blade. Hitler Youth Leader, where all the silvering is there, just impossible to find. And again, these two RADs with the ivory grips. They're pieces that you can put in your collection and kind of smile every day when you go past them. And that's what this is all about, because it is a disease, you know, and we got to keep feeding it. And even if you got what you think is maybe the best example you could find, you never know, you might find a better one a couple years later. So it's easy to upgrade because it doesn't cost that much more. You sell your old one and put in the few extra bucks for the new one. Or maybe you found the new one for less money than you can sell your old one for. Then it even gets better. So this is what it's all about. You guys know I've been doing this well since 1965, and I still love it as much today at my elderly state as I did back then. And it's something that can keep you going. You're maybe not going to get senile if you're always thinking about this kind of stuff and what you can get next, and keeping your mind active, talking to other collectors, going to shows, just enjoying the hobby. So, okay, so that's it for our 50th. I'm sorry we didn't have any big balloons or anything else, but and just one other thing I wanted to mention, because it's our 50 years, I'm wearing my favorite cufflinks. These were owned by a Port La Marit winner, probably back in the 1920s or so, and I was lucky enough to acquire them, and I love them very much. And also I put my two favorite uniforms back here. My political leader outfit with the Ausland patch on it, and my general's uniform, all with the pants, and you know, there's those general's pants with those stripes. And I love both of these uniforms, and they're staying with me. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it, and enjoy your comments, and thanks for your participation, and we'll see you next time.